are back at it. Early morning, heading to the woods. Saturday. It's cold again. It's below freezing, and I think I learned a lesson from last time. I was pretty stupid. I was not prepared enough, and usually I think ahead pretty well, but I did not realize it wasn't going to warm up as much the last time I was out. So I think I definitely had a little frost nip, I would say. My fingers and toes were feeling it for about a day maybe. It wasn't terrible, but I could just tell that there was a little bit of damage. So I'm a little more prepared today. I do have the hot hands, hand warmers and toe warmers. Got a warmer face mask, a little bit more layers. It was really just my fingers and toes last time that were cold, so I'm not terribly worried about anything else. So gonna head in, get there as quick as I can, get into my spot as quick as I can. I don't think I'm gonna be moving as much today. I'll feel it out, kind of trust my gut, but I just don't. Last time after bumping that doe, which was incredibly frustrating, but it was also damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of a thing, I felt like. So I'm gonna trust my gut. I'll probably head to my spot. Again, I just keep seeing that one doe. She's right there continuously every morning. So hopefully I'll see her again today and have a shot. I just need to wait it out and be patient. If I do get the feeling that my gut tells me I should make a move or something, or I hear something or see something else that changes my mind, I'll do that. I'll audible quickly. But otherwise, that's my plan for now. And I'm excited. Fingers crossed, I just got to keep trying. You're not going to get anything sitting on the couch. So we'll see how this goes, and I'll take you guys along on the journey with me. All right. Pressure update. I have seen, that's two. So I've seen 2 people so far. It's about what I expected. Usually the last couple times I've been here, it's been about anywhere from 1 to 4, I think, total. The day that I got bumped, that was probably the most I saw. That was probably the 4. So nothing unexpected there. We'll see how it goes. After searching around and learning the plot that I'm in a lot better, it's pretty clear that there's other people, obviously, that hunt there. I mean, it's public. It is what it is. It's the way it goes. Just seeing some trail cameras. I found that stand. So I'm debating in my mind if I go further away from that stuff or what. I'm just not sure with what regularity. There's people coming out into this plot to hunt, and who may have bumped some deer. My hope is I think the rut's unfortunately probably done. At this point, we had the second phase the last time I was out, and I'm thinking now it's going to be more a little bit of movement in the morning and evenings, especially when it's colder. So that's why I'm hoping today. I've been seeing that doe kind of late morning, so maybe I'll get lucky and see her again. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting, and there's a couple more people there actually. So yeah, we've got a decent bit of people here. I don't expect a ton of pressure. I'm hopeful when I get to my spot there's no one around, and we'll see how it goes. A lot of potholes here I gotta drive around, so keep you guys in the loop. All right, so this was the shot. I'm struggling right now to find the arrow. It's really tough, but here was the angle that I was at. All right, this is where I hit her. You can see she jumped right here. So I'm looking for the arrow up here, as well as starting to check for blood and everything like that. Problem is all deep back there. I was shooting uphill, and there was actually a lot of room for that arrow to run. All right. Recording this because it's real. It's real life. It's real hunting. And I'm pretty disappointed, sad, ejected, whatever you want to call it. So this doe was behind me here, I would say, right there. And I had a clear shot. It happened right in the morning, right when I got in. And I thought I smoked her. I hid behind this tree right here that I was set up at. And I was able to get to full draw, leaned over the tree, had everything dialed in. Want to let it rip. It felt good, and I thought that I heard it hit, lungs or something. I heard a thud. Well, I've been looking now for 5 hours. Haven't even found blood. Can't find my arrow. Haven't found any blood whatsoever. Which leads me to believe that, which unfortunately I don't have it on video, so I can't verify, but I do recall her ducking. I think she might have ducked the arrow, and I think it went right over her, and I think the noise I heard was probably the arrow digging into the ground. It's somewhere back there, buried in the leaves and pine straw, so I think she completely ducked it, and she's gone. Really, really, really sucks. I was so just jacked up. I thought I got my first deer, but that happens. I mean, if I did miss, which it seems like I did, and it seems like it was a clean miss, that's the miss that I want, but man, the opportunity was right there, and I blew it. So, I'm gonna sit here for a little while longer, but I think the day is pretty much done. The sun's out. Temperature's like 20 degrees higher than when I got here. I scared the crap out of that doe, so there's no way that she's gonna be coming back. And yeah, it just seems unlikely that anything else is gonna show up at this point. So probably gonna call it in a few minutes. I'm just gonna sit here in my misery for a little while and try to replay the situation. But from everything I can tell, it seems like I missed her. She probably ducked it. So, a few other thoughts here as I'm finally accepting what happened. It was very frustrating, but in the grand scheme of things, it was also pretty freaking cool. I had not released an arrow yet at all. The deer was 12 yards from me, so getting a shot off like that, even though I lost my arrow, which sucks. Maybe I'll find it one of these days when I'm back there. It's pretty cool in the grand scheme of things that I was in that situation. That's the first time I've ever released an arrow on a deer, and it was just pretty cool. I've been talking to Matt and Kaysen a lot. When I first, took the shot and thought that I had a doe down just over the hill, they were really helping me just prepare with blood trailing and what to do and what to look for and all that stuff. And they've been good for moral support here now too, once I finally have accepted and figured out that clearly she ducked my arrow and it was a miss. Chalk it up to learning. Learning does not fill the freezer. Experience doesn't fill the freezer, but in the future, experience could fill the freezer. So that's how I'm going to choose to look at it. I'm not going to let it get me down too much. I'm going to be a little upset probably for a while. For the rest of this afternoon, I'll probably just be a little annoyed and run through the whole scenario in my head a lot, but I don't want this to be something that sticks with me for too long. I just want to take it and understand and learn from it, apply what I've learned, and move forward. So really, really sucks. For anyone watching, hunting is very hard. It keeps showing me every time I go that it is harder than I thought it was. So this is just another example of that. But Matt and Kaysen, you guys rock. Hopefully I bring one home. Catch up to you, Kaysen. You've had some success this year. I know, Matt, it's been tough, but we're gonna keep trucking along and do what we do. And appreciate everyone watching, and I'll see you next time. All right. Wanted to make a, follow-up or final thoughts video here, just to throw in. I've had a few days now to think about what happened and run through the sequence of events and every piece of it, all the variables. And, you know, there's a lot of stuff I can take away from it that I've learned. Obviously, it's still eating at me that I missed that opportunity. I am still so thankful that I did not injure her. You know, not finding the arrow is really frustrating, so I'm not 100% certain, but based on what I did from a tracking perspective, and you know, I scoured the woods, I found no blood whatsoever. I have to imagine I missed, and that arrow's buried deep somewhere in the leaves or the pine straw. So I'm really happy about that. But, you know, a few other thoughts to take away. I mentioned the deer ducked. She did. I remember her ducking, but I think it's important for me to accept the fact that it was more on me. It's my fault. I mean, 12 to 15 yards, that's operator error. That's not the deer ducking. That didn't help since I was shooting uphill, but at the end of the day, I rushed it. It all happened so fast right away in the morning that I think I didn't go through my shot sequence appropriately, and I was not calm. I mean, it was my first shot I've ever taken on a deer, so, you know, calming the nerves, it's harder than I thought it would be. And, you know, I've been in some other high pressure situations when you think about sports and stuff, but it's just, yeah, that was a whole other level. So I definitely did not run through my sequence as I should have, and that was a big part of it. And, you know, a big thing that I hear a lot of archers talk about is running through different events and in your stand, in your blind, or wherever you're set up, and just being ready for that situation to come up. And I would draw where I was all the time and running through different scenarios in my head. One scenario I did not do, because I guess I wasn't thorough enough in thinking about where the deer would come from, was that directly behind me over my left shoulder. I should have practiced drawing that and using that tree as cover and tilting over to the side and being ready to get that shot off balanced and calmly. I hadn't done that. I'm definitely going to be doing that moving forward. I'm going to be prepared for that. I'm going to try to run through any other crazy scenarios I can think of, because I just don't know what's going to happen. So that's a big takeaway for me, is just really being prepared for any situation that can come up. The deer can come from anywhere. And just because I think it makes sense that they're going to come from, you know, this little funnel spot over there, doesn't mean they're not going to come from straight behind me for some reason. Just, you know, like what just happened. So that's a big takeaway. I think from a practicing perspective, I practiced all sorts of crazy scenarios with all the hours I put in during the off season: kneeling, standing, sitting, uphill, downhill, not that steep of an uphill. So I'm going to practice more crazy scenarios, leaning, steeper uphill. I definitely didn't compensate for the uphill at all in that shot. You know, going through that again in my mind, I was acting as if it was just a flat ground straight shot, and I should have been aiming lower in general to compensate for that, and I wasn't doing that. So I'm going to practice a lot more crazy scenarios, I guess, or just, you know, uncomfortable scenarios, just to try to get myself more used to that and being able to go through my own shot pattern and really execute well. So, you know, those are my main takeaways. I'm really glad I didn't injure her. I got to practice drawing and going through different situations when I'm at the stand, and I've got to put in some more practice just for uncomfortable situations and try to think of all the variables that are going to come up. It's a lot for me to swallow, because I'm really hopeful I get another shot before this season's over, and hope that I didn't mess up and miss out on my best opportunity, but that very well could happen. I mean, that's hunting. I'm taking this as a learning experience. I'm going to move forward and try to apply it to future scenarios, and hopefully I can find some success, and we'll go from there. You know, I guarantee I'm not the first hunter that's had this happen to them. So I'd love feedback if anyone's got any feedback or tips, or just, you know, stories, if anyone has any good stories about what happened, because I just, the highs and lows to think that I got my first deer, to go from that high to that rug pull down to that low of just realizing I completely missed and accepting it. It took me a while to accept that, but hey, you know, I messed up. I got to move forward. I've got to grow from it, and that's what I'm hoping to do. So appreciate it, everyone, and we'll see you next time.